There's been a lot of chaos in the world about George Floyd. Let's just pretend that I believe this whole story and this whole scenario. Is it really worth pulling down monuments all over the world? Doesn't it seem sort of conspiratorial that all over the world they're pulling down historical monuments? Reminds me of book burnings. But who knows how they'll frame history after this. But my point is, I don't like the Black Lives Matter movement because it says, hey, Blackie, you're not responsible for anything you do. You're like a little special needs kid that we have to help out. You need so much help. You poor little retard. There's nothing you can do to change your situation because you're just like way down there. So we got to help you. And on the other hand, they're demonizing the very people they want all this help from. And I just want to know, where does it end? You know, we've got in this supposed quarantine people coming out in droves to support Black people. And I just keep seeing post after post about how that's not enough. And it's just like, when will it be enough? You know, you voted in Obama for 8 years. He was up there running the world. And that's not enough. You know, you got people coming out in droves and riots and blocking traffic. And that's not enough. What do you want? Oh, you want Black people to do better? Oh, isn't that up to Black people? Isn't that their life choice to do better for themselves? You know, I'm personally insulted by any movement that says, hey, Blackie, you can't do any better. You're from this, you're from that. You know you were a slave, right? You know your ancestors were all slaves. Yeah, you just relax. You don't have to not have 4 and 5 kids by 4 and 5 different dads. You don't have to not do drugs and steal. You don't have to do that. You know, it's not your fault. I mean, you don't have to just give up a life of crime or move out of the neighborhood that is horrible. You don't have to do that. You know, it's somebody else's fault. It's systemic racism. That's why you're in the position you're in. It's not your choices. It's not in your hands. Your fate is not in your hands. It's in the hands of white people. Those demons. Yeah, they're the ones who can save you. You didn't know that? Yeah. You know, and they have to do something, and by some magic, when they all start to care and they all start to believe in white privilege, you know, some magic will happen in your life, Blackie, and you're gonna get all better. You know, just because some people believe in a concept, even though it makes no sense. Yeah. Once everybody believes in that, things will be better. Another thing, why does the Black Lives Matter movement ignore successful Black people? They get grumpy when successful Black people come up and say, you know, what is this about? I'm not oppressed. I don't get harassed by the cops. I got a friend that's a cop. I am a cop. You know, Black Lives Matter just really wants to hush those people up, call us Uncle Toms, call us coons. But the fact of the matter is, if there was this big bad boogeyman holding Black people down, then it would hold all Black people down. But it doesn't. You know, there's a lot of successful Black people here in America and all over the world, you know, that are doing just fine with their black skin. I can't get a Band-Aid in my shade. Life is hard. I can't. Does it really benefit you to be a victim? Does it really help out your children if you tell them, hey, you were from slavery, the white people holding you back. You know, I don't know. It just sucks to be you. Sorry. I don't know what to tell you. Or could you say, you know what? There are successful black people in this world. I'm going to do what they do. Yeah, people don't seem to care about their skin color. Because when you're making money, people don't care. And this is not through drugs and rap and being a producer like Mr. Steinberg is telling you. No. You know, just making real businesses, solving problems for people, and having ethics and morals, you know. Don't take from people. Don't steal from people. It's simple. When you avoid those things, it's amazing how little you encountered with police. And they're talking about defunding the police now. That is hilarious. I can't tell you how many videos I've seen, and we've all seen, of black people saying, call the police when shit's going down in the hood, you know? I can't tell you how many times I've heard that. We've all heard it. We've all seen it. And I don't like the way this movement ignores all the crime that black people do. I mean, it's just like that elephant in the room that people aren't willing to mention. But I'm just like, what are you talking about? When you don't commit crimes, they don't have a real reason to interact with you. I mean, it's the way it works in my world. And I live in Texas. You know, how bad is it? You know, if you don't look like a thug, people don't treat you like a thug. I go into the most high-end places and people are nice to me. People want to sell me stuff. And they get, you know, they get tipped. They get treated well. They remember me the next time I come in. Yeah, I don't have to worry about these things because I behave in a civilized manner, because I never took on board some information from history that says I'm less than. There's nobody that's better than me in this world. I'll tell you that right now. I don't care who they are. No one is better than me. And I will never adhere to some movement that makes me feel like someone is superior to me, that someone is more blessed than me because of their skin color. Life is what you make it. If you put in the effort, you will get a good return. You want to talk to me about Black Wall Street and all that? No. Don't go into history with me. If you're about to write that in the comments, just shut it down and don't say it to me, because I don't care about history. I care about the here and now. Half the businesses are on the freaking internet and they don't know what color you are. So what are you doing? You know, why are you accepting this for yourself that I can't do and I can't be because I'm black? Get over it. Get over it and do something with yourself. It is not up to anyone else to help you or take responsibility for your life. If you're sitting there taking all these cream pies and having children out the ass and you can't frickin' manage it, maybe you should eat less cream pie. Yeah, seriously. You don't have to have all these kids. You don't have to stay in the hood. You don't have to do any of that stuff that blackness tells you you need to do. Yeah, you could move to Montana or something and just be out there with your kids, living a good life, getting a piece of the American pie. If you believe that your skin color is keeping you from success, then I believe you're an excuse-making victim that loves being a victim. Turn off the BET, turn off the gangster rap, turn off anything in your house that is stereotypically black, and just start to just go out in nature and figure out who you really are as a person. Don't say, I've got to behave this way because I'm black. Just be who you are. Start to have hobbies and interests outside of crime and baby making, and see what happens to yourself. See what happens in life. Yeah, it's a lot better. And yeah, thank you guys for rioting. It's been really nice. I really appreciate y'all tearing up stuff. And I know a lot of activists out there are not black. I've actually seen very few black people in my area out there protesting. It's been a lot of white people. And I guess you think that's very altruistic of you, but really what I'm hearing from you is that, Blackie, you need my help. You are so freaking dumb and retarded that you can't help yourself, and you need me to save you because I'm white and I can save you with my Facebook post and my signs and tearing down monuments. That's gonna change you, little man with your gun in the streets doing street shit. I've had two family members die recently from being hood street people, ratchets. Two recently. Chicago had its most deadliest day in 60 years or something like that. And that has nothing to do with white people. That is just black people being shitty to black people. And there's nothing that Black Lives Matter is going to do about that. That is an individual thing. That is a person saying within themselves, you know what? I'm not gonna live this life anymore. I'm not gonna live in this area anymore. I'm gonna take responsibility for my life. The past does not dictate who I am today. And do something else. Aren't you tired of this? Every time I see this crime picture, this black 16-year-old, 17-year-old that's just murdered someone, life over, life ruined, you know, and I see that look of desolation in their eyes, and I realize that they took on that message of, I'm from slaves, I'm black, I can't ever have anything. Yeah. You don't have to absorb that message. You don't have to listen to that. That is not who you are. You can be anything you want to be, truly. If you disavow these movements that tell you you ain't shit. That's what I have to say about Black Lives Matter, the 2020 protest. I say, this is your life. Take responsibility for it. And don't listen to people that are wanting to make excuses for you. I'd like to give a special shout out to Jonathan and Mark. Thank you guys for sending out the birthday donations. I really appreciate it. Thank you to everyone who comes back to my channel. I really appreciate you guys just being patient with me while I kind of get the new studio in order and figure everything out for myself. So thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you coming back, and I'll see you next time.